Hello everybody. So today I have I feel like it's a very eagerly anticipated and long-awaited video for you. It's one that I get questions on all the time. It's also my favourite subject to chat about for hours and hours. So today I'm going to be going through my current go-to skincare routine for you, my morning and my evening skincare routine. And I thought this was a good time to do it because we've just changed seasons now. It's autumn, winter, which is really chilly and really cold, and obviously your skincare needs to change a little bit to adapt to that. I personally have the driest skin ever. It's dry, dehydrated. It doesn't go as far as getting flaky patches unless I'm really not moisturising it enough, but it's always very dehydrated and it feels like it just needs a big drink all the time. Also though, on the other hand, I do still get an oily T-zone. I thought it was something that I would grow out of eventually, but I still get kind of oiliness on my nose and on my cheeks if I'm wearing makeup for quite a while. Not so much when I'm not wearing makeup, but if I have a lot of products on, it does tend to get a bit oily. Now, I am a lover of skincare and I do like to try out new products and test different things, but honestly I feel like my routine has just been completely stripped down. It's gotten smaller and smaller every time I've actually filmed one of these videos. Going from, I think, my first ever skincare routine, which I will link below if you fancy a few laughs. It was filmed years and years ago. I didn't know what I was doing. It's pretty embarrassing. But in that one I was using about 6 different cleansers, 10 different moisturisers, just too many products. So I think the key to having good skin is really just keeping things simple, and I think that's such an easy thing to do because you don't need to faff around with excess products. You can just get yourself a little bunch of things that you know work well for you, which is basically what I have here. So starting off with cleansing and makeup removing, I am always a fan of micellar waters. They will always have a place in my routine, but at the moment I've been using something slightly different to take off the bulk of my makeup. So this is the Clarins Pure Melt Cleansing Gel, and it's basically a brilliant one if you want to take your makeup off without stripping your skin too much, and micellar waters can be slightly drying on me, so this I definitely prefer to use when it gets a bit colder. It's kind of like an oil, gel, balmy type thing. It's quite thin and it has a nice slip to it, so you can really massage it into your skin. I just put this all over my face as soon as I walk into the bathroom, so straight onto dry skin, and it just melts everything away. It really gets rid of all your makeup, it kind of breaks it down, and you're left with that kind of gross looking splodgy makeup face when you've removed everything, but it really breaks down eye makeup brilliantly. I find this works with waterproof products as well, which is always great. Once you rinse it off with water, it kind of emulsifies, turns into a light kind of milky liquid, and you can just wash it away. Sometimes I use a muslin cloth to take this off, but most of the time, if I'm not wearing a ton of makeup, I'll just splash it off with water. No matter how hard I try though, once I've dried my face off, I'm always left with some kind of pan rise. So I go in with a separate eye makeup remover. This is another one from Clarins. I think they do makeup removal brilliantly, and it's the instant eye makeup remover. It just breaks down all your makeup perfectly. If I am feeling a bit lazy and I just want to take my makeup straight off without using the gel cleanser, I'll just use this on a cotton pad and kind of hold it onto my eyes for a few seconds, and it just breaks down all your mascara, all your eye makeup, any eyeliners and things that you have on there, and it's just gone in one swipe. And it's quite an oily liquid. It's one of these bi-phase ones, so you shake it up, and some people don't like that kind of feeling on their skin, but I personally think better to have something oily that's going to remove all your makeup and keep things hydrated than something that's very stripping. So I really love this. So I talked briefly about the cleanser that I've been using at the moment in my last favourites video. I will link that down below if you haven't yet seen it. And it's the Sunday Riley Blue Moon Cleansing Balm. I've always been quite faithful to the Oskia Renaissance Cleansing Gel, which I do love, but I've been trying this one out recently and I actually prefer it for the colder months just because it's a lot more hydrating. In fact, it's really hydrating. It's very, very rich. It has this kind of funny blue colour to it, and it's actually quite hard to get out of the pot. That's the only problem that I have with it. You really have to kind of work it in and almost kind of scoop a little bit out, or just really sit there rubbing your hand across it until it warms up. It has a very kind of similar texture to coconut oil, so when that's quite cold and it takes quite a lot of warming up to use, but when it does melt down and it turns into that really nice balmy cleanser that it is, feels so good on my skin. It's a really, really rich, really hydrating one. And although cleanser is something that you just wash off your skin, I think it's really important to use something that is going to keep the moisture in there rather than stripping it, because every step of the way I just try to inject more and more moisture into my skin. This actually has cocoa butter in it and some vanilla oil in there as well, so it smells freaking amazing. It smells so good. And it's just something I really enjoy massaging all over my face. And in terms of makeup removal, it's okay, it does a pretty good job, but I prefer to use this once my makeup is gone and it's just going straight onto my skin, so I can really get all the skincare benefits from this one. When it comes to eye cream, I'm quite loyal. I have 2 probably that I've used in the last couple of years, and I switch between them when they run out and I go back and forth, and they're both really great, but this is the one that I'm using at the moment. It's the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. I particularly like this one again when it's winter time because it's It's really, really rich and really lovely. I personally can use quite a rich eye cream without having any problems with makeup creasing and concealer going all over your face and mascara being really smudgy, but I know some people can't do that, so it may be a little bit rich for you. But if you do have really dry eyes, really dry kind of underneath and even on the top as well, this just is perfect. So this will always be one of my absolute favourite eye creams. And then for moisturiser, again, I've been sticking to just one product morning and night, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I just love it so much. It's so, so good. I've never been particularly faithful to a moisturiser. I think of all my skincare, maybe apart from cleansers, it's the thing that I change around the most, but this is just my all-time favourite. When you first put this on, it feels as if it's going to be a bit too heavy and a bit too rich. It kind of lingers on your skin and you can feel this lovely hydrating film across it, but actually it still feels so light and so breathable. Not like other moisturisers that are quite heavy that tend to just sit on the skin. This one sinks in, but it still leaves your skin hydrated on the top as well, which is very confusing. I'm not sure how it does it. It's definitely magic. I can use underneath makeup. It doesn't interfere with it at all. I think it's actually designed to be a really great base for makeup, so that always helps. And even in the evening, I put this on when I do my skincare routine, and even when I wake up again in the morning, I can still feel like it's there, it's working, and it's moisturising, but my skin never feels oily or greasy, which I think is such an amazing feat for a moisturiser to do. I honestly can't go on enough about how good this is. I think if you have dry skin and you always struggle to find a moisturiser that actually sticks around, this is definitely going to be a good one for you. And I hear a rumour as well that there's going to be a night cream coming out, so that is something I'm very excited about. So those 5 products are the ones that I basically reach for every single day. They're my staples, my go-to skincare, and then I have a few other things that I kind of substitute in and out depending on whether my skin feels like it needs it or not. If I feel like my skin is just super dry, really dehydrated, and it just needs a bit more of a boost, I will use an oil before my moisturiser. And I have 2 that I reach for. I have one for the evening and one for the morning. So at night time I use the Sunday Riley Lunar Oil. This is such a beautiful product. I've raved about this many times before, so I won't go too far into it, but it's basically a sleeping oil. It's designed to regenerate your skin overnight, and it has beautiful ingredients in it. It has essential oils in there which keep your skin really hydrated, really fresh feeling, and it also has retinol in it, which is anti-aging as well. And more than anything, I think what it does is it just really invigorates your skin and makes it look super youthful, really glowy, really fresh and plumped, and that is what I like my skin to look like. So I will put a few drops of this on before my moisturiser when I go to bed. And then obviously, as that is an overnight product, in the morning I've been using the Sarah Chapman Skinesis Morning Facial. I really like this oil. It's a very lightweight oil, so much so that I can actually use my moisturiser and then put makeup on top and it doesn't interfere with it, which I think is pretty amazing. I think actually the more oil you put into your skin, the less oily it's going to be throughout the day, if that makes sense. I think oil just helps to really keep your skin hydrated, and then it won't overproduce oil, which is probably why my skin gets a little bit greasy in the T-zone, because it's super thirsty and it just needs to produce its own kind of hydration. So this really helps to keep my skin feel very comfortable throughout the day. I really love using this as well when I'm not wearing makeup, so I'll just put a really nice thick layer all over, probably skip my moisturiser and just use this, and it keeps my skin nice and hydrated all day long. A few treatment products that I use, these are very minimal. I probably don't use masks as often as I should, but I just don't ever really have the time or the patience to do them. But a few things that I have been using are the Origins Original Skin Retexturizing Mask with Rose Clay. This is a really lovely mask. If I'm going to be doing one, I definitely reach for this, and it's kind of a 2-in-1. So it is a clay mask, but it also has some exfoliating particles in it. So you put this all over your skin, it dries, it sucks everything out of your pores, which is amazing. It feels really fresh and really clean, and then when you wash it off, you can kind of give yourself a bit of an exfoliation, so you can rub it into your skin, and the little beads are quite gentle and quite soft, so it's a very gentle form of exfoliating, but it does leave my skin feeling really soft and really supple. So this is my go-to mask. And then when it comes to actual exfoliation, it's a step that I do very rarely, so probably only 2 or 3 times a month, because I don't like to use too much exfoliant on my skin. I used to be quite a big fan of the AHA exfoliants, the kind of more chemical ones, but I've kind of avoided those more recently, and I've just been sticking to this one product, and it's from Sommerville. It's the ExfoliKate Intense Exfoliating Treatment, and this really is quite an intense exfoliator, so if you have very sensitive skin, it's probably going to be a bit too much for you. My skin personally is a little bit more on the sensitive side, and I can still use this in very kind of small amounts very occasionally, but this is really just the most amazing treatment if you feel like your skin is just looking super dull and really grey, which is what tends to happen when you have a bit of a build-up of dead skin cells across your skin. So this just gets rid of all of those. It gives a really lovely refreshing feel, and it definitely helps with dry patches too, particularly around my nose. Sometimes I get not necessarily necessarily flaky dry patches, but just uneven and slightly rougher skin, and this just helps to get rid of all of those. So this is my go-to exfoliator. I use it very sparingly, but when I do want an exfoliator, this is the one that I pick up. And that is it. Those are all the skincare products that I use. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 products, not even up to 10, which is definitely a very welcome change from the skincare routines I had in the past. So I love all these products. I really enjoy using them, and I think they just work so well for my skin. So thank you all for watching that. I hope that was informative for you. I know I get a lot of questions about the products that I use and how I take care of my skin. So hopefully you can take something from that and use it in your own routines. Let me know if you have used any of these and if you like them, and also what your #1 favourite skincare product is, because I always love asking people that question. It's really, really interesting to me. Give this video a little like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all soon. Bye!